Welcome to Trauma Research Foundation's TRF Tuesday. This is our weekly mini workshop series from Bright Voices in Therapeutic Embodiment. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It tells YouTube that this content is valuable and they'll show it to more people. Melissa, take it away.
Thank you, Mary. It is such an honor to be here. I am so excited to be able to share with this community in particular something about playback theater. And I hope that this will spark more interest, that you will want to go to shows and see the full array of playback theater, or that you'll want to train as a playback theater artist. There's space for actors, musicians, people who can really explore, because this is interactive, improvisational storytelling. So I'm going to start out with just giving you a little bit of my history and how we got to today. Here we go. And this is me in a show that I created about a healer named Doña Paola in Mexico, who I worked with for many years. And as an actor, I'm trained as a professional actor. I trained at the Center for Arts in Morelos, Mexico. And this is the kind of storytelling I did. I also did, next slide, kind of stage acting. This is Women Behind Bars. And I also did, next slide, please, indie series on television. This is a kind of shameless plug of a show that I did for 2 years that is fictional. All this, but it is about relationships, and relationships is what I care about, and the stories that come from those relationships are really important to me. So when I heard about playback theater, I was really interested. I went to a show and told my story. I was so amazed at seeing my story turned immediately into theater. The actors didn't know me. They just heard me speak for 5 minutes. But there, through music and words and movement, I could see my story woven into a beautiful piece of theater. I was like, I got to do this. This is my next thing. And as luck would have it, the next day, the next weekend, was this company's audition for the year. I dropped everything, went to the audition, and then worked with that company for the next 2 years. Next slide, please. And I was absolutely delighted to be working, telling people stories in many different situations. But I really wanted to work within the city in a multiracial community. So I wrote a project and got funded, and that project was called The Welcome Table. Next slide, please. At this project, we invited people to sit down at a table and have tea or coffee and something yummy, and to tell whether they felt welcome or not welcome in their community. The actors who were sitting on boxes, which are really the only props in playback theater, with the colorful scarves behind them, which are the only manual props, we have the boxes as set and the scarves as props, are listening as this teller is telling her story. And at the end, they'll get up and enact that story. We set up this welcome table at different places throughout the community, in gardens, in front, on the street. And at the end, we put the stories together and made a short play, which was then presented in those same places, returned to the people of that community, and then shown at a large community meeting for over 600 people. The people who were part of that community, of the original company, wanted to continue doing playback theater. And so we did, and we performed at many places. Next slide, please. And this was one of the events was at the Audre Lorde annual cancer breakfast. And these cast members, the company members, are performing a story about Victoria's cancer experience. Next slide, please. And here we are, May 2019, at the International Trauma Research Foundation Conference. And our other guest today is Andrea Sandoval, who I'd like to present, and she will say a little bit about herself and her activity in the playback theater world and as part of Red Sage Stories Company. Andrea, I'm so glad you're here with us.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Melissa, and thank you for the opportunity to be here. My name is Andrea Sandoval. I'm based in Mexico right now in a small town named Cholula. And I've been doing playback theater for 14 years. I am a professional actress. So as Melissa, I study acting, and I was like searching and looking for something for me more meaningful and something to work with theater. So I find playback theater 14 years ago, and I get so in love with this work. And now we have a very big community, international community. We have the International Playback Theater Network. And at this moment, I am the vice president. And I'm the co-founder also of the Mexican Playback Theater School. So my goal and my work for the last years, it's been having and making access to our Hispanic communities in text, in documents, translation, having workshops, and creating and supporting our community here in Mexico and in other places in the Caribbean and in South and Central America. So yes, I think that's me. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. And we love when you're able to perform with Red Sage Stories. It's such a treat. Yes. Which is also part of our ability to be a multilingual company, which is really important to us as well. Okay. And at this conference, you can see that we have two people of the company are sitting at a music table, and other actors are waiting to participate. And Emily is with Andrea, and they're in relationship telling a story that was told by one of the participants at the conference, who is sitting in a chair on the other side of the picture, watching. Okay, next slide, please. We were getting ready to do a new project, as I mentioned, called Stored Stories. And in this story, in this project, we were going into stores. So that's why it's called Stored Stories, the stories of the stores, of immigrant shopkeepers in a section of Boston called Jamaica Plain. And this is Mumtaz, who was talking about what it was like for him to have a convenience store in this largely Dominican community. We were getting all set to turn these stores into theaters when COVID happened. Next slide, please. we were going to go to Vermont and teach and perform. But this was right at the moment that COVID made us all go inside. We didn't give up. We adapted and we went online. We ended up teaching a group from Vermont who we had met the leader at the conference, at the Trauma Research Conference. And I believe this company is still performing for their community. Okay, next slide, please. And this is what we did. We told the stories online. And the person in the center of this slide is Dima, who had a beauty salon. And she is watching as we retell her story, as we enact it. And as you can see, we use gestures. And of course, because we can't actually touch each other, we're reaching out and just using words. And it's a little difficult to use music in Zoom, but sometimes we sing or sometimes we tell a poem. Next slide, please. And this is another way that now we're beginning to go back outside. We're so excited that we can be in person again. And here we're doing some pair sharing. And I'm going to talk about this particular way of doing playback theater within groups in future sessions. So come back for that. Next slide, please. And here we are at our leadership conference that we just held in Mexico in July of this year. And we have represented here Puerto Rico, Portugal, Hong Kong, Germany, Tasmania, and Mexico, and that many languages as well. And the person on the right of the screen is presenting herself, and then the other actors are going to create a tableau or a picture of what they are listening to with their bodies and words. What can we use playback for? What can we expect? Why do it? And especially for this community that's concerned about trauma or healing, what is the advantage? And I have a few things that I thought about. I actually was filling up pages, but I will mention a few, and I'll invite Andrea to add ideas as well. So one thing, when people say, how does it help? I say, when you see your own story played out in front of you, you realize that this story is past. You lived through it. You survived it. No matter what happened, you survived it. No matter how you are today, you survived it. And just seeing this story in front of you creates resiliency. We can go back and forth, Andrea, if you like.
When you see your story represented, you also are looking at from another view. So now, as Melissa said, now you survive, now you are in another place, then you can recall or maybe look at from another perspective. And that's also very, very healing, that you are not in that place anymore. And you could know a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Another one is you are watching it, but with other people watching at the same time. Other people are witnessing this story, and you can experience this, but not alone. And that's often really, really important, that you're not alone.
Also attached to this point is that telling your story in public, it means something different. It's not, it it takes like another space. It's not your story in your head, in your feelings, in your bed. You are carrying the story. Then you realize that you can talk in public about this story, and that people are going to relate it to the story also. So that's another important thing. It's not also about the one who's sharing the story. It's about the other ones listening and having insights, reflections, memories about their own stories. So that's when you see that you are really connected.
Absolutely. Sometimes there are situations that anecdotal information is needed, and when people can see a story, it helps them confirm their own ideas and helps them to be able to speak about issues.
Also, like in the other side, in the side of the acting team, you also reflect your own stories, and you also get connected. Personally, for me, it's been also a healing process, practicing playback theater and growing myself, my mind, my feelings, doing playback theater. So that's also the other side.
And I would like to say that at the deepest level, apart from creating art and having everyone experience their lives as worthy of art, playback theater fulfills that purpose of art that reveals patterns and the deepest meaning of life. And that's playback at its best, and what we love about it. And then audience experiences, as Andrea mentioned, affirmation, expansion, revelation, connection. And this is a fantastic way for a community to bond. Yeah. So we would like to share one of the forms that actors learn in playback theater, because, of course, behind the curtain of the magic, there is a lot to learn. And we have a large toolkit, and within this toolkit is a ritual, and within this ritual are forms that all the actors all over the world learn and can share, which is why we can have international members of a team, and we say, okay, now we're going to do pairs. And everybody knows what that means. All the members know. So what do we mean by pairs? So pairs is a way to express one person's conflicting emotions about something. We all have the experience that we feel this way about something, but on the other hand, we also feel this way. So this is how we express pairs. There are two actors. Sometimes they do it with four, but in our case, we're going to do it with two. Two actors who are both going to be the teller. That means the person who tells the story or expresses something. But we're going to each actor is only going to express one side of the feeling of this contradicting experience. And really, this is so absolutely universal. We all have the experience of, oh, I love this, but at the same time, I hate this. And I can say that right now, living in Florida with no power, I can say, oh, I the power is, not having power is awful and sometimes scary, but also, I get to relax and not hear the phone and TV. And yeah, so there's two sides. So we're going to invite, I believe we're going to invite Mary to tell us how she feels. What are her two contradictory emotions about whatever she wants to tell us?
Well, I get very excited around visits to be with my family. I have 4 brothers and sisters. We don't live near each other, so we don't see each other frequently throughout the year. So I get very, very excited. I'm so happy to get to see them. And then when I'm with them, a lot of times there's some of the triggers and old patterns. And so sometimes I can feel frustrated and sad and disappointed. So excited, and then also sad and disappointed.
Thank you, Mary. So we're going to have Andrea and I are going to be on the screen together. We'll be spotlighted. Are we both spotlighted?
You are.
Okay, great. I just can't see it. And we'll see Mary's experience of going to the family. Let's watch. I can't wait to see them. It's going to be so much fun. Oh, it's been so long. I cannot believe. When was the last time I saw my family? Wow, it's going to be great.
Oh, now I remember why we live so far away. Oh, dear family. Oh. Again, the same things, the same. Oh my God, I want to go home. I want to go back home.
Oh, I should get some presents. I think it would be really. I want to surprise them. I know I really want to share what I've been doing. I just have so much to tell them. It'll really be great to be able to just sit down and not be on the phone. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Here we go again. Oh my God, it's the same. Every year, every time we see each other, it happens the same. Why? I am asking, it could be different. Why? I can imagine this will be different. Oh, dear family, I just can't wait until our next reunion.
Oh, it is, it's just, I think back and I like all the good times we shared, and, they're so important to me. I love my family.
Okay, hold on. Everything's gonna be okay. Yeah, it's just a moment. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you see your story?
I did, and it's making me tear up. I'm teared up now, especially the excitement, seeing the excited part. For some reason, that's the most moving and touching to me. But I definitely see my story, that frustration, almost wanting it to be over, but simultaneously being so happy and so excited. I definitely saw my story. Yeah, thank you.
Mary. Thank you. So I wonder if there is somebody in our audience who would like to put into the chat their experience of feeling contradictory emotions. about something. Could be anything. You feel on one hand, okay, so okay, Shweta, we can do yours. I am feeling excited to travel to Japan and nervous at the same time going alone. Okay, we can do that. Okay, Shweta, thank you so much for your story. We will see. Shweta is about to travel to Japan. Let's watch.
I think I'm gonna take a deep breath. Okay, everything is gonna be okay. Yeah, it's a long flight, but it's okay. I think I'm not the only one who's traveling alone, so everything is gonna be okay. There's nothing that could go wrong. I'm prepared, and yeah, okay.
Oh, I love everything about Japan. I have just been, I can't wait to be in the real place of all the things that are in my life that are Japanese. I mean, I have just been really reading and studying and enjoying all these Japanese things.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I can delay this, or maybe I can say no, or maybe I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Should I go? Should I go? Should I go? Should I go? It's okay to go. I'm gonna be okay. It's okay.
I have been planning this so carefully for so long. I've saved my money. I have every step of the way. I know what I'm going to be doing. This is going to be the best trip.
A little nervous, little.
I can't wait. How is that for you, Shweta? Did you see your story? Something of what you feel. Yes, I was able to see my nervousness. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. And more is surfacing. Well, I really hope you have, and your excitement. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone, for being here with us.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you to our audience for joining us. We'll do a lot more in the coming weeks. Thank you so much to Andrea and Melissa. We can't wait to see, experience, and learn more. We look forward to seeing you next week at the same time for more fun with Melissa. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye.